exactly how you can maximize leads and sales for your coaching business in Q4. That's October, November, and December, a time of the year that is dreaded by the majority of coaches for two main reasons. Number one, they struggle to retain their clients, and number two, they struggle to get new leads and, more importantly, more sales into their coaching business. The majority of the time, this is because there is a lot more objections at this time of year. So we're going to dive into 5 ways that you can maximize the leads and sales coming into your coaching business, the revenue, the growth, the consistency of it through these months that coaches typically find are very difficult, but inside the private coaching and inside systems of scale, Q4 is usually the record quarter for the majority of coaches that we work with. And these 5 reasons are big, massive factors in exactly why that happens. So let's dive in to all 5 right now. Okay, so number 1, before you think about generating new clients for your coaching business, you don't want to have an amazing lead generation strategy at a time of year when you're more likely to lose clients. You want to focus before anything else on retaining those clients as long as possible. So a few different things that you can think about around retention. I mean, it could be enough to just say focus on retention and not all of your time on brand new clients here, but a few things that you can think about in terms of retention is, first of all, getting the basics of retention correct. One of the basics of retention inside a coaching business is making sure that, number 1, people are using the product, and second of all, people are getting results inside the product as well. So if people are not utilizing the product, the likelihood of them staying in the months ahead, especially when they start to think about Christmas presents and they've got higher expenses at this time of year, or it's just not the right time because I'm going to be busy and I may as well start in the new year. If there's more than one reason why they won't take action, some are money-based and some are based upon it just not being the right time, there's so many objections there that the likelihood of somebody staying with you, not just becoming a new coaching client, is so high. And that's why so many people see so many people leave. So one of the first things you need to do is make sure that they are seeing value in the coaching product. And one of the main things there is usability of the coaching product itself. So often I see coaches trying to retain clients through singular strategies rather than just making sure that people are at minimum using the coaching product. Okay, so some things that you can do here is make sure that they're checking in with you. Make sure that they're utilizing the group. Make sure they're utilizing you or calls or anything that you have within your deliverables. And if they don't look at it like, well, I got in touch with them and they didn't reach out to me. I sent them an email and they didn't check in again, and look at them like they're doing something wrong. Very often it's because they've got stuck at one thing, they feel embarrassed about it, and they want to bury their head in the sand. Now, all you need to do is do more follow-ups. Do more follow-ups and more close coaching follow-ups. Inside the private coaching, for instance, we have a system in place that we track all of our coaching clients. If we don't hear from them in a 7-day period, then we tag them in one of our key posts that's like a feedback post for the week. We tag those people that we haven't heard from that week inside the group. We tag them inside that post. If we don't hear from them for another 3 days on the other side of that, then they get a direct email from us. If we don't hear from them for another 3 or 4 days thereafter, they get a one-to-one DM from us as well, because we're doing everything that we can to make sure that anybody that works with us is moving forward, is not stuck at any point, and they're getting everything that they need to be able to progress and grow their coaching business. Putting something like this in place isn't as hard as you might think. It just takes a little bit of diligence, and also if your coaching business is at a certain place, you might be able to pay somebody not too much. It's like a VA type job to just see who has been using the group, who has not, and to be able to track it on a list so that you can simply go in, see who those people are, and check in with them manually to make sure that they're doing okay. It's one of the key things you can do for retention, so get that in place before anything else. Outside of that, some key things that you can do at this time of year, outside of the evergreen stuff for retention, is to actually think about how you can make them see the value of staying right now specifically. So not just, hey, this is the best place to be to get results, but this is the best place to be, or this is an opportunistic time, or whatever it may be. This is the time to get results. So let them see the light around why October, November, December, and January working with you is so advantageous. A really key one here is in the health and fitness space, where people have probably the hardest time with retaining clients when it comes to November and December. One of the key things to highlight to your clients, and it doesn't have to be a, hey, just a reminder in case anybody's thinking of leaving. This can be just put out into your content. By the way, your coaching clients see your daily content you put out to the public as well. So allow that to filter through into those people as well. One thing that you can do is you can filter into your content, your private podcast, to your groups, however you communicate with your clients. You can articulate to them about the fact that so many people think that they don't need a coach at this time of year because they're going into Christmas, because they're going into Christmas parties, because they're going into Christmas dinner, because they are going to be busier and all of those things. And what they don't realize is that at this time of year, not only can you make progress, but if you do not want to put the foot on the gas with body transformation or whatever it may be, that you can at least help them navigate this time of year in the best way possible so that they do not fall out of routine, so that they do not get stuck, so that they do not feel bad about themselves, and most importantly, they don't take 7 steps back. Because if they've already made 6 months of progress with you, you can help them future pace how they would feel going into January if they were back where they started 6 months ago. That's what can happen when they don't work with you. Help them understand the value associated specifically in Q4 of working with you. And when they can see the light, they can see the key reason why they need to work with you at this time of year, then you're much more likely to retain them and not have them just say, well, I may as well just put it on pause. I'll just pause for 2 months and I'll be back in January. So if you want to retain your clients, you have to have them see the value of working with you in Q4 specifically. Number 2 is when you're actually putting out content, when you're putting out offers, and you're looking to generate leads, inbounds about your coaching. You want to get people during October, November, and even in December reaching out to you with the word interested because they want to find out more about your coaching business. Well, one of the main things that you need to do in Q4 to keep generating coaching clients or leads and coaching clients is you need to overcome the objections of Q4. So the different objections that you might hear across the year, they're not consistent. Some of them can be consistent. There's some of them that are, I can't afford the product. That is something that can come up. But certain more specific objections come up at all different times of year. It's why the content that we create for our private coaching clients, we have content templates for even their daily content that we give them brand new every single month. They're not just another 25 to 30 templates every single month. They're 25 to 30 templates that are taking into account the objections that we most commonly hear in June, July, August, September, so on and so forth. Q4 has its own objections. Q4 objections will be things like, well, I can't afford it because I've got Christmas coming up. It'll be, I can't do it right now because I've got Christmas coming up because we've got a lot on. Or I think that I'm going to waste my time and I think I'm not going to make the most of 90 days of working with you if 2 or 3 weeks is taken up by run up to Christmas, and New Year. Okay? And so if you can overcome these objections, you're going to have a lot more success in getting that person over the line. Never mind the fact that if you can overcome those objections through your social media posts and through your stories, you'll get more people actually booking calls in the first place. You might not even need to tackle this on the sales call. If you get ahead of these objections, then you'll have more leads and you'll have more sales right through Q4, even in December. What are some of the things that you can think about when it comes to overcoming objections, like the ones that we just spoke about Christmas? Or here's the really specific one, and one that is quite valid as well, is, well, there's going to be probably 3 weeks there where, it's the run up to Christmas, it's Christmas week, and then there's New Year, and then I'm going to be hungover on New Year's Day, and, I'm not really going to get back in the flow of things until kids go back to school on the 6th, and all of those things. Here's what you can do. You can say it's usually 90 days. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt on 3 weeks completely for free. You can take those 3 weeks as 3 weeks that I'm going to help you. I'm going to help hold you accountable. I'm going to help you adjust your plan during those 3 weeks so that you don't feel that you're completely on plan, but I'm still supporting you and I'm making sure you don't go 7 steps backwards. You're going to get that completely for free. So we're going to get 90 days of action taken, and then we're going to get 3 additional weeks completely for free where I'm going to just support you throughout that 3-week period. How does that sound? So that you can be at the end of January in the shape of your life, rather than at the end of January just starting on day one. Help them future pace that. Overcoming those objections that are specific to Q4 are really important, not just on sales calls. That's where people think objection handling takes place. Objection handling takes place in your social media content. If you do not do objection handling through your social media content, you're going to struggle to have the volume of sales calls that you're actually looking for to even have the opportunity to overcome an objection. Okay, so start getting these through your content, through your emails, and any sort of communication that you have with the marketplace to have significantly more people reaching out to you, wanting to become a coaching client of yours during Q4, and have some of the most seamless sales calls of all time during Q4 as well. Number 3 here to maximize Q4 is to adjust your offers. Okay, so I already talked about one there, adjusting your offer to say, hey, I know what you're probably thinking ahead of time, like you could get ahead of this one and you could adjust your offer to say that because there's busy December coming up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an opportunity that I've never done before, which is for somebody to come into my 90-day program, my 90-day transformation, and I'm actually going to support you during December completely for free. So if you sign up in October, you're actually going to get 4 months instead of 3, and you are going to get that month completely for free bolted on. And guess what? That month is really important because I'm going to make sure that you don't go 7 steps back, that you continue to make progress if you want to, and you have an adjusted plan that works in line with your schedule, with your family, with everything that you want to achieve and do during Christmas and New Year. Okay, something like that would be adjusting your offer. Another thing would be if you want to take that time out completely and not have people think about it, then in October and November you can do a time frame offer, which is something along the lines of, I usually have a minimum time period of working with people for 90 days. However, I'm going to take on X amount of people who want to achieve dream result in the next 45 days before Christmas even starts. Okay, so something like that would be a time frame offer, and that means that you've overcome the objection of, oh man, what about Christmas and what about New Year and what about all these things and wasting time, and you also get to make them see the opportunity that they have right now, which is that usually if they want to work with you, they need to commit to 90 days, but this is a one-time opportunity where they can work with you for 45 days instead, half the time for exactly half the price. It's still premium, it's still the same price per day or price per week, but you're getting them in on that short time frame offer. Here's the really cool thing. There's so many people who would never have worked with you for 90 days. They might say they will, they might have told you, they might have even told their partner that they're going to sign up with you at some time. Okay, that they're going to sign up with you, they're certain about it, but it's never the right time. It's never the right time financially. It's never the right time during the calendar year. They're always busy. There's always something coming up, and there's always a reason why they're going to kick the can down the road. When this opportunity comes up, like a super spike offer, but this is a time frame offer here that we're talking about, the really cool thing is it gets so many people off the fence where they go, I can't miss out on this because they're not going to do this 6-weeker. They're not going to do this 45-dayer again. This is half the price for half the time, and I can get amazing results before Christmas has even arrived. And then they jump in, and guess what? That person who actually would have never signed up with you for 90 days signs up with you for 45, gets incredible results, and guess what they do? They become a 2.5-year client on the other side. They go into your retainer package on the other side, or indeed buy additional blocks of time or upgrade into the next level of what it is that you coach, depending upon the system that you have within your coaching. So adjusting your offers is so important to maximize the leads and sales that you're going to have during Q4. Number 4 here to maximize Q4, the leads and sales that you're going to have, is when you're getting really, really close to Christmas. Okay, really close to Christmas, or indeed between Christmas and New Year itself as well. In that period when you're like 7 days out from Christmas, 10 days out from Christmas, a lot of coaches just completely pull the plug on everything that they're doing. They're like, nobody's going to sign up right now. There's no point. What's the point of me even putting in the effort? Because everybody's going to say that it's not the right time. Well, something that's really simple that you can do is give them offers that are really hard to turn down, but give them the opportunity to secure their space, but start in January at a time that works for them. So you can say, so we have a few start dates that we can go with. We can go with 7th of January, 14th, or 21st. Which one do you want to go for? So it's like the assumption clause. It's not saying, do you want to work with me or do you not want to work with me? It's like, cool. Well, the way that we're doing it right now is, of course, if you want to start right now, you can start right now. We can get rocking and rolling. I love that. But at the same time, something that we can also do is we can actually secure your space right now, but then we can set a start date for the 7th, 14th, or the 21st of January. Which one works best for you? And then it's like, it's not a yes or no, it's a which one do you choose, okay? And it's a really, really great way to do it, to get more people over the line, even in that couple of weeks where most coaches think it's going to be impossible to sign up new clients. And number 5, as the way to maximize Q4, is to sell between Christmas and New Year. Now, you don't have to do this. I'm a big advocate for flexibility in life. That's what we do with our coaching clients. We don't just massively grow their coaching businesses rapidly in ways they never thought was going to be possible, but we also put a large emphasis when people on board with us. We say, what does your family life look like? Like, what does perfect look like to you in terms of a working week? Where do you see yourself in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years? We want to know what perfect looks like to them. So I take into account that, you know, if people have families and things like that, then between Christmas and New Year, they might want that downtime. They might want that flexibility. They might want to not be stepping away and doing any work, which is absolutely fine. However, a lot of coaches also want to not take their foot completely off the gas. They want to turn the dimmer switch down instead. So turn the dimmer switch down even 95%, but have that little 5% of work there. Not every day, not on Christmas Day, but between Christmas and New Year, they want to dabble and they want to get going. They want to, you know, prime themselves for sales in January. But little do they know a lot of the time that they can make a lot of sales in December as well, in that final week there. Now, one of the most opportunistic times to run a live immersive experience, or put out an offer, in fact, as well, is between Christmas and New Year. It's the time when people have been off for, let's say, since the 21st of December. They've gone through the Christmas films, they've done all their favorites, they've watched the Christmas TV, they've had Christmas Day, they've had Boxing Day, and now, when you go into the day after Boxing Day, and the day after that, and the day after that, until they hit New Year's Eve, there's this, like, immense amount of boredom. People are off work. They're twiddling their thumbs and they've done all the things that they were excited to do around the Christmas period, and now they're twiddling their thumbs and they would love to have something to look forward to that they're going to do. In that scenario, running something like a 45-minute masterclass or a 1-hour masterclass, I've done it the last 4 years and we have always had a massive uptake of private coaching clients come on board on the other side of that session. I think it was 2 years ago, in November, I told all of our private coaching clients about it, and I said, hey, no pressure, but this is a system that we've put together for you. This is what you should be calling it. This is the funnel to use. This is the emails that you want to use. This is the social media templates you want to use to promote it. And this is the offer that you want to position to them on the other side. And so many coaches made December their all-time record month, and they made it so not just because we had offers that were well positioned at the start of December and we had all these other strategies that we've talked about, but they made so many sales from that masterclass. So if you're looking at that week as like a dud week, it's actually one of the most opportunistic weeks of the entire year, and you don't have to be on the ball continuously to make it happen. You can schedule in all of your promotion well before you take your Christmas break, and you can simply turn up with 50, 100, 150, 200 people who have already registered for that masterclass. It's actually a really good time because many people are also setting New Year's resolutions and things between Christmas and New Year, so it's a great time to deliver to them and generate a lot of leads and a lot of sales for your coaching business to close out Q4 an absolute peach and hopefully an all-time record month. And so, coach, I hope that helped a lot, and I hope that you've got tons of ideas for going into Q4 and you're not going in nervous and you're not wondering about how do I retain my clients and how do I continue to generate leads and sales, or should I just be hibernating and just hoping I wake up and it's January. I hope that you've got so much from this in terms of what exactly you should be doing to generate leads and sales consistently through those Q4 months. Those Q4 months are so opportunistic, and I want you to really lean in hard and make it an all-time record quarter, and let me know when that has happened. Of course, as always, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and any comments, any questions that you have, I always check in and answer them, so drop them down below also. And of course, if you want to know more about working closely with us inside the private coaching, I'll drop any links to anything that we've got coming up down below so you can find out more. Other than that, I'll see you in the next episode of The Shoney Show.